Hello dear athletes and coaches. I am clinical sports psychologist Joyson. Today we will be continuing on the discussion of how to improve your motivation level. If you are new to our training program and to the channel, give it a subscribe button and also press the bell button so that you won't miss any future updates regarding mental skills training as well as sports psychological techniques that we will be teaching on through this channel. For getting rightly motivated on a game, the performing profiling helps very much. So let us try to know what is performance profiling. Performance profiling is sort of a method to know how the player's performance are currently and how it can be improved and to what extent one could able to aspire to improve it. So let us try to see how it is done in real life. For doing the performance profiling, just visualize or imagine the ideal player like you would like to mold your skills. List out his skills in particular areas. Then you mark how much number of skills out of 10 you have on that particular skill area. Then on the next step, you could able to list out the numbers you would like to reach. That is supposedly your current performance number is at 3 and you would like to reach 8, then write it down on the sheet that we will be showing on the screen and try to find out the discrepancy score between that. Before that, you might have already written down the score of your ideal performer. So when you starting with this exercise, it will be an independent and individual exercise. After you compiling a list of the skills that you would like to make just like your ideal player, have a discussion with your team members. Brainstorm during the team discussion. What are the skills should be in the main list so that the whole team can all together work towards for that skills by sharing different techniques and approaches. So try to do this along with the team, brainstorm the ideas and collectively as a team you try to improve those skills. The another technique to improve the motivation during a performance or in the preparatory stages, open your communication channels. How to do this? Opening communication channels is simply means try to communicate whatever the difficulties, challenges or the appreciation that you feel towards your team members. So you can do this by discussing with the players, in between the players. Share whatever you feel about their performance, whatever the suggestions you have with each other players. Then as a collectively, you can communicate that with a coach so that the coach can make the changes or the adaptations that he needs to make or the team perceives to be made on a team altogether. One thing to note when you're doing this exercise is keep it in a democratic way. Give everyone opportunity to discuss their problems or the difficulties that they faced in a practice as well as training periods. So let everyone give the rightful opportunity to communicate their part. One thing to note while doing this exercise is do not do this exercise just before the competition. Try to do this when the team members are relaxing or having a calm atmosphere in the environment so that they will be more receptive and won't be pressed or pressured by this sort of suggestions that have been provided by other members. One of the important way the coaches as well as players can keep the motivation intact during their performances as well as preparation is having an understanding individual differences. Yes, we all are humans. There are a lot of similarities, but there are numerous differences among us. We all are from different places. One might be from a different place, other from another place, and everyone's living circumstance and environment is quite different. So that their way of behaving or the way of perceiving things will be different. This makes them an individual and unique being. They will be having different needs. They will be having different issues. They will be having different scars in life. This all has to be accounted for one coach as well as different players. Then only the players can accept each other completely without a non-judgmental or a critical stance. So it is very important that team authorities as well as coach to cultivate an environment where the players are not judged on their way of behaving or the place where they are from. The individual differences among players are appreciated. Even if it is the same game, People might have different choices, different likes, different way of behaving, different way of arousal levels and everything. So accept the individual differences as it is. So one way in which the individual differences, the acceptance of individual differences can be cultivated among team members is whenever one showcases their individual differences, the coaches as well as members should have a supporting attitude towards them. They should not discriminate or they should have a judgmental attitude. They should support them whenever the other members have a need at the playground or while practice or whatever the time a team has been put together. It can be achieved by sharing each player's preferences openly in a team discussion. They can say to the team members as well as the authorities in the way in which they would like to treated, they would like to perceived, they would like to be considered in different scenarios. You can understand that some players like to be kicked on the back when they are making mistakes, but some players likes a softy approach. They does not like harsh criticism or an overt expression of anger or scolding while they performing their matches. So everyone needs a different approach. This can be achieved by the players explaining to their team that the way in which they would like to get treated whenever they make a mistake or they make a point to fall. So through that, the members of the team as well as the coach authorities could able to understand what their level of sensitivity. Some players like to be kicked on the back, but some players like softy approach. They will be so sensitive so that they cannot bear the harsh criticism or scolding. So it should be understood. It should be well understood by a coach as well as the authorities and other players and particularly captain of the team. So this has to be well taken care of while the team preparation and training happens. And some players are very different. They would just like to be left alone. You does not have to know anything. If you are a coach or if you are a manager of a team or even if you are a captain, some players should be left alone. They does not need any scolding. They does not need any kick in the pants or any softy or compassionate approach. They are just, you have to just let them as free as they can be so that they can improve by themselves. So everyone have different needs. Everyone needs a different sort of a treatment. And the art is knowing this. And the authorities as well as coach should have an understanding of this. Then only the team can cohesively move forward and progress. We normally see one thing that just happens just before a match, that the coach is so concerned and worried about the match and he start talking or scolding and giving so much instructions to the players. Coach doing it is in a good will that yeah, it's my team, my guidance is very much needed for the team. But actually for some players it might be act detrimentally. Some players would like a more left alone approach. They believe in themselves and they like to be left alone so that they can do the things by themselves. But when the coach over interferes or over indulge in the pre-competition time by giving so much instruction, it actually hampers their ability to perform at their peak. So the coaches and team management should have an awareness of this, and it would be better that they should consult with each players individually and get an understanding in the way in which they would like, the players would like to be treated when the match is progressing or just before the match. One important attribute that we could able to see in a motivated, highly motivated team is their commitment to positive thinking. The players in that team will be so encouraging towards other players. They will be so committed to the positive aspects of the games. Each players will be reminding the other players to think more positively through their eyes. This actually helps the team to focus on positive rather than the negative aspects, which nothing can be done. Of course, the weaknesses can be improved, but whatever happened in the past has to be let be off and focus on the positives. So when the positive happens, all the members are so indulged in the positive thinking and the whole team can do wonders in a match. And we have reached the final point, final technique to improve the motivation of team. It is the team spirit, team cohesion. The team cohesion is very important. Not only in the team aspect, but whenever the team not on the playground or not on the training yards, training periods, they should have a social bond, a social understanding where each players know the challenges and the sensitive points of other players. They should have a social cohesion as well as a task cohesion. When both these cohesions are intact and in tandem, then the team can progress and work in a more cohesive way so that the improvements that they can aspire or the performance they would like to aspire will be on point and will actually start to happen.